Hi guys, welcome to my channel and to my journey in beauty. Today's video is my October top 3, bottom 3 plus a palette. If you are new to my channel, every month I pick 3 things I've been loving and 3 things I have not been loving. Plus, I tell you a palette that I have been loving on for the month. These are not always brand new things to my collection. Sometimes it's just something that I've been reaching for a lot in the last month and maybe have rediscovered or re-fallen in love with. So let's go ahead and get into the bad news. So the first bad news of the month, I don't want you to throw things at me and maybe, just maybe, my opinion will change, but I have not been loving the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara that we got in BoxyCharm. Like I said, maybe my opinion will change. Maybe the longer it's open, I might like it, but I don't even find myself reaching for it anymore now that I kind of have firmed my opinion on it. This is what the brush looks like, which I really don't have a problem with, but I don't know if you can see there's a lot of product gooped on this brush, and and even, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's like goopage on the packaging as well. It's a very messy mascara for one, but for two, I just find that it goops up my lashes. I do not like clumpy lashes, and I think if you do, then that's fantastic. But I really just like lengthening and, darkening of the eyelashes for my personal preference. And so this one, clumping up my lashes, is just a no-go. I don't know, like I said, if it's because it needs to be open a little bit longer, or maybe it's because the bristles on the wand are so short that it can't, it doesn't have long enough on the lash to really scoop out the extra product. I don't know, but I have not been loving this. The next product I have not been loving, I am pretty sure is the cause of some congestion in my skin over the last few weeks, and it is the Benefit Pore Professional in the Pearl Primer. And this was just a little sample that I got, and it is in my Grey's Anatomy Project pan, and I am going to finish this, but I do not like this at all. First of all, I don't see any pearl qualities to it at all. I think it's just very much a regular pore filling primer. Maybe the full size is different, but this one has no glow to it, and that's fine. But I also don't feel like it fills any pores. It's called Porefessional, and for me, this did not fill in my pores at all. In fact, I'm wearing it today. I can see every pore, and I specifically targeted it right here and up here and a little on my nose, where I tend to have very visible pores. So this was not a win for me, and I will not be buying the full size. Are you surprised? And then the last bad news for the month, I can't remember, I think this was a 100-point perk on Sephora, and now I don't know why I picked it, but it's the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Moonlight. Put a little swatchy on the back of my hand. I guess this is, it's definitely in the bad news category for me, but at the same time, this is kind of like a plea for help. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out on my hand so you can see that it's very metallic, high shine, but this just did not perform very well on the skin for me. It is a beautiful glow. I have not tried mixing it with a foundation yet, so I am going to try that at some point. But I have tried, having it on my cheekbones, and it seemed like, to put just a tiny, tiny bit on there. I've tried just blending it in with my finger. I've tried using a beauty sponge. It seems to dry down too quickly for me to really do much with it. I am going to try it like applying it with a sponge, like maybe put some in the back of my hand, dab the sponge in it and apply it that way. Maybe that will work better. But if you guys have these or have tried these, I would love to know how you make use of them. So the reason this is in the bottom 3 this month is just because I really haven't found a way to make it work for me just yet. So help a sister out, would ya? And that's the bad news for the month. Not too shabby. It wasn't all BoxyCharm products this month either. So let's go ahead and get into the good news. The first thing that I have been loving this month is new to my collection. You guys haven't heard me talk about it yet. And it is the Pixi Glowy Gossamer Duo. And I have mine in the shade Subtle Sunrise. And this is what it looks like. This is kind of a goldy shade and this is kind of a peachy shade. And peachy highlights are my jam, like completely my jam, but look at these. This is the peachy one and this is the yellowy gold one. I just wanted to show them to you before I swatch them. But this is what we're working with, and they do blend out beautifully. I'm gonna go ahead and blend them out on my hand. I mean, these are definitely a highlighter. Like this is not for the faint of heart. This is not a natural glow. This is what they look like. I don't know if you'll catch it today, but it is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the peachy shade because I thought it would go nicely with my warm eye look. So these are fantastic. I heard Kelly Gooch and at least one other person talking about these glowy gossamer duos and you know, just raving about how good they were. So I had to pick one up when I saw it come to my Target. I'm so glad I did because this formula is insane. It's gorgeous. It would be gorgeous on the eyes, you know, inner corner, whatever. I think it's just stunning. Next, I want to talk lippies, and this is not just one particular lippy. This is a whole line of lippies, and they are the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine lipsticks. I have the shades Varnished Rosewood, Luminous Coral, and Burnished Blush, and I love these. So these are the 3 shades that I have currently, though I would like to have every shade that would look good on my skin tone. The top one is Varnished Rosewood, which I bought off of a recommendation from Emily Noel. She also mentioned the second shade called Luminous Coral, which is really beautiful, and it's definitely a coral, but it's a wearable coral, not like other corals I have in my collection. And then this bottom one is the most recent purchase of mine, and this is Burnished Blush and is very much a pink shade. What I really love about these is that A, they're comfortable. They are, you can see from the back of my hand, they are very balmy and shiny. But the cool thing about these and what kind of sealed the deal for me was that these, once the shine has worn away, let's say you've been drinking, you know, water or whatever, you've been working, these do leave a bit of a stain behind so that the wear off is not ugly. And I find that that's really, really nice. Also, I have a lot of fine lines around my mouth, and so sometimes I can find it hard to find lip products that don't accentuate the lines if they're too dry, what have you, or sometimes even too balmy. They will feather outside of the lip line for me, and these don't. Actually, even though we have a really nice opacity here, each one of these was 2 swipes of the lipstick. They are easy enough that I would feel comfortable applying them without a mirror on the go. I frequently take these with me, even if I'm wearing like another color. Like today I have on the Ofra Long Lasting Lipstick in Verona. But if I was going to go somewhere versus bringing this with me where I would have to go to a mirror or use a mirror out of my purse to reapply, I'd be more likely to take something like the Varnished Rose one varnish rosewood one here at the top, or the luminous coral. Chuck this in my handbag and reapply, you know, and kind of smooth out any wear down from the liquid lipstick. So I highly recommend these. The last top 3 for the month is actually kind of a dupe that I found. Now, these are not spot on dupes, but let me tell you a little story. I got this Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in my Sephora birthday gift for 2017, I believe. I don't know. Anyways, this is in the shade Party, and I actually really love this blush. It doesn't even look like it would be deep enough to show up on my skin tone, but it does, and it has this gorgeous luminosity to it that I absolutely love and reach for. Even though it's not like a satin blush or anything, I mean, it's very much a matte blush, but I feel like it does have a sheen to it. If you kind of look at it on the back of my hand, it's got a luminous quality to it, and so I feel like it just looks very fresh and healthy, you know, maybe like you walked in from out of the cold. But I was thinking, you know, Angela and I are talking about Project Pan projects for next year, for 2019, things like that, and I said I really would love to pan my Tarte blush because I know I'd have good success with it, but I don't want to pan it because I don't want it to leave my collection. You guys have heard this from me before, but as far as I know, they don't have a full size of this that I could repurchase. So, long story short, I did pick up a Milani powder blush in the shade Romantic Rose. I can't remember who recommended this. I think it was Jessica Braun. So anyways, I had picked this up. Also, Angela had picked it up. And like I said, they're not spot on dupes, but I do feel like I would be able to pan my Tarte blush with this as a backup, so to speak. So like I said, not spot on dupes, but the luminous quality specifically is very dupey. It looks very much the same on the cheeks. In fact, maybe some get ready with me soon. I will put one on one cheek and one on the other cheek and see if we can tell the difference. That might be fun. But I was really excited to discover the dupiness of these blushes this month so that I don't have to worry about using a product that I really love, you know, and it being gone forever. The moment we've all been waiting for, it is the palette of the month for me. I've really been enjoying it, and I do have an honorable mention as well, and it's my channel, so I can do that. But the palette of the month is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. I did do like 5 looks, 1 palette with this because I have committed to using every single shade in a palette before I review it for you guys, so you know that I know. So this is what the palette looks like. I am going to link in the cards for you my video and review on this palette, but this is really stunning. I'm really glad that I bought it. Did I say really enough in that sentence? Good grief. But overall, I just love this palette. I love the colors. I can't wait to use it more. I think this is actually pretty versatile seasonally, in that you could use it really any season and it would work just depending on the combination of colors that you used. And then I just wanted to speak briefly. This was my favorite shimmer in the palette. It's called Warm and Toasty, and this was my favorite matte in the palette. It's called Oh Snap. It does have micro glitters in it, but they don't show up on the skin, so I'm just gonna swatch those two for you. So here's those shades. This is Warm and Toasty. I mean, it is absolutely stunning. And then this is Oh Snap, which I think is just beautiful. It actually was surprising to me. I didn't think I would see it as a more warm, dusty rose shade, but that's really honestly what it is. So, and I think those shades actually would be really nice together for like a quick 2 shadow look. So I'm not gonna lie, I love Too Faced shadows, and this was not a disappointment to me in any way, shape, or form. I did say in my review that there is one throwaway shade, and it's this one right here called Frostbite Me. But overall, it's not unusable. It is usable, and 1 out of 18, I believe, ain't bad. And then I just wanted to make an honorable mention, like I said, and I wanted to say that I am still loving the Lorac Mega Pro 2. I am continuing to make progress on this, and I'm still not bored of it yet. I've used it quite a bit this, since my last update. I used it for my fall cocktail collab. I used this for my video that you're going to see going up on Halloween. So she's beautiful, and I still love her after almost a year of regular use. I don't want to say consistent because that would not be true, but there you go. That is my top 3, bottom 3 for the month of October. Tell me one thing down in the comments that you have been loving this month and that you have not been loving this month. And if you had to pick a palette of the month, what would it be? And I hope all of your makeup days are beautiful makeup days, and I will see you in my next video soon. Bye!